Welcome to the NRL Punters Weekly Digest, your one-stop shop for everything you need to know leading into this week's NRL matches. This is our Round 9 Team Lists edition for this NRL Telstra Premiership. Before I get into the team list, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so now. Please take 5 seconds to do so. Also turn on your notifications so you can stay in the loop of all my future content. And if you like this video, please give me a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike if you feel you need to. I prefer you didn't, but if you don't, I prefer honesty. And let me know your thoughts on anything that I cover in this episode of my YouTube show. Let's get into it. Thursday night, Rabbitohs take on the Storm from Stadium Australia in what should be a crackerjack game. For the Rabbitohs, the two new wingers are Stephen Masters and Tane Milne. Braden Byrne returns from injury and replaces Campbell Graham, who's injured, in the centres. Benji Marshall shifts to halfback with Cody Walker returning to his preferred 5'8" position. That moves Alex Johnston to fullback. Tavita Totola returns to the front row and Jai Arrow covers the injured Cam Murray at lock. For the Storm, George Jennings and Nelson Asofa Solomona return from head knocks. Harry Grant is officially the Melbourne Storm first choice hooker with Brandon Smith starting at lock. I really like that choice of rotation there. My tip in this game is the Storm to win by 10 points. Friday night, we see the Panthers take on the Sharkies from Bluebet Stadium. For the Panthers, Jermaine Hopgood comes onto the reserve bench in place of Brent Naden. For the Sharks, Centre Jesse Ramian returns from a glute injury, and utility Teague Wilton slips back to the interchange bench where he takes the place of injured prop Braden Hamlin-Ueli. My tip in this game is the Panthers to win and to win well by 18 points. The Sharks' form at the moment is just too sketchy to pick. Panthers will be far too strong. From Bankwest Stadium, another crackerjack contest in this round. The Eels take on the Roosters. For the Eels, no changes, which is a great luxury to have at any time of the year, especially at the moment. For the Roosters, James Tedesco returns from injury at fullback. Joey Manu returns to his centre spot. Sio Siwa Takiaho replaces Lindsay Collins, who's out for the year with an ACL injury, and he joins Brett Morris, who unfortunately may have played his last career game ever, unless he plays on next year, which is a massive blow to the Roosters, but just also to the wider NRL community. In my esteem, he's been the best winger of the NRL era. Everyone will have their own opinions on that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Ben Marshke replaces Sam Verrills, who suffered a semi-detached retina. Yuck. I don't know how long that takes to recover from, but I wish Sam Verrills all the best. It sounds very serious. Adam Kieran slots into the side in the number 14 jumper. Nat Butcher replaces suspended back rower Satili Topanua, and Lachlan Lamb joins the extended bench. I guess that means he's fit to play if need be. My tip in this game is the Eels to win this one by just a short margin. Even though the Roosters have their injury concerns, I'm tipping them to win by 2 points. Saturday, the Raiders take on the Knights from Wagga Wagga in a home game that the Raiders are taking out to the bush. Not that Canberra isn't the bush itself, just less of bush, I guess. For the Raiders, Josh Papali'i returns to the front row following his week of rest, or whatever we want to call it. Ryan James drops out of the squad. That's a really weird choice for mine. I don't know. I'm guessing it's kind of a load management type thing for Ryan James. I think Ricky Stewart mentioned he was going to be in and out of the side this year, but he seems to be doing it every second week. I'm not sure if it's a form thing this time around. Anyway, he's out of the side. George Williams returns at halfback, which will be a major boost for the club. For the Knights, Phoenix Crossland replaces injured halfback Blake Green. Lachlan Fitzgibbon and Tex Hoy have been named to return from their injuries via the extended bench. I've got Raiders winning this one and winning it well by 20 points. I say that because the Knights' form is very, very patchy at the moment, and I just think that the Raiders are the better side at the moment, despite the fact they've lost 4 on the trot. Tigers, Titans from Campbelltown. This will be another really great clash, and I think it's going to be another tight one. For the Tigers, Moses Mbai replaces suspended centre Tommy Talau, and Jacob Little joins the interchange bench. For the Titans, Tino Fa'asua Maliawi returns from his shoulder charge suspension via the front row, with Mo Fodawaker dropping back to the interchange bench. Bo Former comes into the centres, and Philip Sami moves onto the wing to cover for Corey Thompson's injury. I believe he's out for quite some time, 12 weeks or something like that. New signing, Eason Masters, which I'm a bit meh about. He hasn't been setting the world on fire at the Cowboys. He's been named among the reserves, and Jamin Jolliffe is on the interchange bench in place of Sam McIntyre, who returns to the reserves. I've got the Titans by 8 in what will be a very interesting game. In another local derby for the Broncos, a second week in a row, they take on the Cowboys from Queensland Country Bank Stadium. For the Cowboys, Jake Clifford takes the number 7 jumper off Ben Hampton, who's out with a pec injury. Jarvid Bowen replaces Justin O'Neill in the centres. Mitch Dunn returns from suspension via the reserves list. And for the Broncos, no changes, which again is a luxury to have. I'm tipping the Broncos to win by 4 points this game. And that is more so a vote of confidence in their abilities to get 2 on the trot than anything else. On Sunday, the Seagulls take on the Warriors. I'll tell you what, this round is full of really intriguing, high-quality clashes. 2 teams that have kind of an even kind of pegging for mine. They're similar in ways. Seagulls, Warriors from Lottoland at 2 p.m. For the Seagulls, Josh Aloiai and Martin Tapau are both out, which means Sean Kepi moves to the front row, and Homoli Olakau'atu, I think I got it right, goes from the interchange bench into the second row. Moses Suli returns from injury via the bench, and George Tafua has been named on the reserves bench to potentially play, would it be his first game of the year? Would be a massive boost for the Seagulls if he is available. For the Warriors, Eliezer Katoa returns to the back row, and Chanel Harris-Tavita has been named on the reserves bench, which is very interesting. Now, if he comes into the side, you would assume that he takes Reece Walsh's position, but I don't know if you want Reece Walsh out of that side at the moment. Maybe he comes back via the bench. Who knows? Seagulls by 2 in this clash, but I think this one could go either way, if I'm being honest. Last game of the round, again, Dragons. They like to be the last game of the round for whatever reason. From Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, they take on the Bulldogs. For the Dragons, Tyrrell Fuimiano replaces Zach Lomax at centre, which is, I think he's played there before, but usually a back rower. Poasa Fa'amosili returns from suspension via the interchange bench, and Matt Fegai is named on the reserves list. For the Bulldogs, Dali Wateni-Zalesniak is back at fullback, with Nick Meaney moving to the wing in a straight swap between those 2 players. I'm tipping the Dragons to win this one by 16 and bounce back to form. I'm tipping a Ben Hunt man of the match performance in this one. That's it for this week. That's been the Round 9 NRL team lists. Let me know your thoughts here. Anything that you would have done differently from a coach's perspective when we're looking at selections. Otherwise, look, I'll see you in the next video. Next one will be my NRL Best Bets for Round 9.